everyone. Welcome to Popcorn Pixel. I just want to introduce myself. My name is Nidhi Sahani, and honestly, this is so amazing to finally have you guys in one room, even though it's a Zoom room. Welcome.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Are you in London?
I am in London, yes.
This is super exciting.
Super exciting, and it's a bright, sunny day today. So after this, I'm going to run in the fields and run in the sun.
Wow.
Lucky you.
Shonali, I want to start with you. You usually work on stories that are very personal to you. And Nilesh, I think you are on the same wavelength because both of you work together in the writing and the direction of films as well. What is it about Raat Rani that pulled you in, and what was the inspiration?
Raat Rani is the title that
Raat Rani.
Nilesh came up with, even though the fly is Raat Ki Rani or Raat Rani, but for our film, he wanted to go with Raat Rani. Literally, this was a blog from New York Times that Nilesh chose for me to direct, and then he adapted it to Bombay. He wrote it. He came up with the title. It's my most feminist film of any of my films, but it's written by this man here on my left. So I gave it over to him.
Modern Love is a blog from New York Times. I'm really thankful to the woman who wrote this blog, had courage to take her personal story into the column, and it reached us. And when I read the blog, many images were flashing through my mind, but a lot of images kind of found place and found a narrative because I knew that I'm writing for Shonali. It kind of helps you when you know that you're writing for someone, what their take is on characters, on life, on stories. So you're not second guessing yourself. Having said that, Raat Rani is a flower. It means the night blooming jasmine. So the very inspiration, the title came later as I was kind of discovering the story and the character. The title happened to me. But what it means is that you are not to wait for the light at the end of the tunnel. While you're going through that tunnel of darkness, you embrace the darkness within and just blossom. So you don't have to
That's
wait.
beautiful.
So that's where it's coming from. That's where Raat Rani, that's where the character protagonist Lali comes from. And Bhupendra is playing her partner as Lutfi. So ये Lali और Lutfi की कहानी है. Is gonna, I feel, help people cross a bridge in their life.
That's interesting. And I think Shonali, you mentioned that this was obviously a blog that was then adapted to become Modern Love Mumbai. So how is Mumbai integrated or incorporated in the story as a critical element?
Again, this is Nilesh who did that, but I think that's what is the brilliance if a writer can do that and not just cut, copy, paste, right? So the whole thing of Modern Life Mumbai means we are taking the original blogs from the New York Times, fresh ones. These are not the ones from season 1 or 2, and you have to adapt it to your own city, which is Mumbai specifically, not Delhi, not Hyderabad, Mumbai, right? So you take that story that he's saying, how brave of that person to write, and you do something with it. Now, for example, that's a middle class woman in Brooklyn, New York, and he decided to do a working class woman who's a Kashmiri Muslim. He's created already so many layers just in the kind of identity he's chosen with his character, right? Then, for instance, there you have the Manhattan Bridge and the Brooklyn Bridge. He has used a flyover, and he has talked about one of the most iconic bridges of our city, which people will discover when they watch the film. So he took really the simplicity of that blog and made it a very complex story with layers which are very specific to Bombay, because Bombay is a character in the film that he's created. The relationship the characters have as migrants to the city, a city that welcomes or can be hostile to its migrants coming from all parts of India. He was very keen that this migrant be from a distant part of India, and he landed on Kashmir. But it's nothing to do with the baggage or anything to do with Kashmir. They're coming from a part of India and they're here in the city, and it's their struggle and it's their ups and downs that the story is about.
That's actually very close to my heart as well, because I moved to Bombay. I want to say Bombay because I feel like
Please
Bombay
say
is
Bombay,
something
because
that-
You're on
we
Zoom,
have to
nobody
say
can
Bombay.
catch you.
and I'm in London.
Say it again. Say it again.
Bombay is a feeling. Mumbai is just a city. But I was in Bombay for about 2 years, and it is a city that I think it becomes a part of you in a good way or a bad way. And I have a love-hate relationship with Bombay, which is, I think, a story for another time. But speaking of adapting the story and basically making it your own, Bhupendra, how was it working with this beautiful team, and what attracted you to the script?
Being an actor, being a new person in cinema, it was very learning experience for me because you just started your career and you got a chance to work with such phenomenal people. They have a great understanding of art and cinema. So, and then the story in itself, a beautiful, uh, the beautiful range of emotions. So for me, every bit of it was it was very learning for me. Sometimes it's very difficult to play when your character doesn't know what is going inside him, but you know what is going inside him, and then how to portray that he doesn't know, but he's behaving like that. And इस तरह की situation, they gave it to me. They wrote, and sometimes to play certain situation, you learn a lot, because उनको करने के लिए ही तुम वो सोच पाते हो. शायद मैं ये बात सोच भी नहीं पाता कि मेरे अंदर क्या हो रहा है एंड व्हाई आई एम बिहेविंग लाइक दिस. मुझे पता भी नहीं मेरे अंदर क्या हो रहा है. ऐसा होता है कई बार कि आपके अंदर बहुत चीज़ें एक साथ चल रही होती है और आपके ज़बान पे सिर्फ ये आता है कि मुझे मज़ा नहीं आ रहा है.
I hope ये पिक्चर करके आपको मजा आया पर.
मुझे बहुत मज़ा आया, मुझे बहुत मज़ा आया.
Good answer. Okay, so I want to come back to the original column and the original, I guess, Modern Love, created by John Carney. I was watching one of his interviews after the release of season 2, and he said something which was very interesting. And he said that the first episode of season 2, which was about a car and how a woman couldn't let go of her car, he was asked as to what touched him deeply about that episode, since he had written and directed it. And his response was death. That was his takeaway on the story and something that touched him deeply. So my question to you, both of you, Nilesh and Shonali, since you've written it and directed it, what would you want people to take away from Raat Rani?
In the context of, I mean, I would have said something funny, but I guess you're asking a very
You can say funny and serious. It's
deep
okay.
question. Okay, then two takeaways.
Okay.
He mentioned death, I would say life.
Nice.
And the second is let kala.
तावनज़ादा भी बोल सकते हैं.
Kavanzada is very phika. It means worthless.
मुझे second वाला सुनाई नहीं दिया.
नहीं मजा
Let kala. Learn
The
it.
first
Let
one-
kala. It means dickhead in Kashmiri.
Oh,
It's a
अच्छा, मुझे
beautiful
पता नहीं
lyrical
था.
musical word. Let kala. Let kala.
अच्छा.
But it's actually dickhead. Now see in English, dickhead. It's just horrible. It's
It sounds
crude.
crass.
Oh my God, dickhead.
Yeah.
Dickhead.
Yeah.
Let kala. Let kala.
Yeah.
Let kala हो
प्यारा.
तुम यार तुम let
हाँ तो
kala
मतलब
हो.
मारो तो
अरे.
प्यार से मारो और but life and the life within, life inside you, like figuring out like the beauty of having life, yeah, not having it dependent on anything, and just counting your blessing that you have this life and making most of it. That's what is the biggest takeaway.
The bike that saved my life is the name of the original blog, and Raat Rani is the name of this our story that he's given. And both these things, for me, are very personal and related to my life. And really, through my cycle, when I lived in Santa Monica after my son's death, I found my own self, and I could embrace darkness and arise and transcend pain and find beauty and light in death. So in life, in the present life though, in facing the worst thing, which is death, I triumphed. And I triumphed on my little cycle, and I triumphed by doing the work of self-love. And so I would want the takeaway for people to be that you can face anything you want in life, the darkest, terriblest thing, if you can turn to yourself and just hold your own self and say that I am there for you. I am there for you, Nidhi. I am there for you, Nilesh. I'm there for you, Bhupendra. I am there for you, Shonali. And if you are there for your own self, you will have no fear. And if my audience watches this and can take this from it and learn from this, then they in their own lives won't fear crossing any bridge or crossing any ocean.
That's so well put. Thank you so much. And on that note, I think we'll have to end it. But I just have one last question before I do. What does modern love mean to the three of you? Bhupendra, we'll start with you.
For me, modern love is modern love have no boundaries, no race, no caste, no creed. Acceptance in you. What is happening, around you, just accept it. Because in our society, people teaches you how to get succeed, how to get, how to how to how to be powerful, how to be, But what if you're not powerful? What if you're not succeed? accept it and go ahead. Life is beautiful. Sometimes life teaches you. Sometimes life gives you that path. So in this society, especially Indian society, ऐसा कहा जाता है कि अच्छा होना, परफेक्ट होना, ग्रेट होना जो है वही लाइफ है. बट अगर नहीं भी है तो क्या? लाइफ अपने आप में बहुत खूबसूरत चीज़ है. जस्ट एक्सेप्ट इट एंड लिव इट. I think you yourself is the only truth. Society is a myth.
Oh wow, that was deep. Shonali, what's modern
Well,
love to
modern
you?
love, like just by the very title, for me, it's like be bold, yeah. Doesn't matter because unfortunately, in today's world, everything is being dictated by governments, love is being dictated by laws and governments and society, be bold and love whoever you want to love, be free and bold in who you love.
Modern love to me, I've said this before, is a very ancient concept. Love has been modern in ancient times. We are just rediscovering it because it dipped. We tagged it, we boxed it, we plated it, we draped it, we hid it, we suppressed it, we did everything to it, but it just keeps bouncing back. So it is going to flow no matter what. So let it be. I think we are
That
just
was
being
so
a
well
conduit
put.
to ancient times.
I honestly do not want to end this interview, but I know we're running out of time, and hopefully we can do a follow-up someday on this.
Yes, after you watch
This
the
was an
film,
amazing chat.
you watch the film
Yes,
and we'll do a
definitely.
follow-up with you.
Definitely. Sounds good. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
Congratulations
you.
once again,
Go
and
have your
good luck
run in
with
the
it.
park now.
Yes. Take
It's
care. Have a
super
nice
hot
day.
here, so you
Bye-bye.
please do that.